No. Well, I think I'm live. This is Coach Diane coming to you from a little different position. I'm sitting in front of the Christmas tree here down in my basement. Outside of my office, just to get a little bit different. And it said I was going to have a little bit of a low connection, so hopefully I won't disappear or it won't go off. So it is Wednesday, December 6th, and this is day 16, I believe, and maybe even 17, I'm not sure, because the last couple of nights I've posted, I think Monday I posted it was day 15, and yesterday I posted it was day 15, so yesterday probably was day 16, and today is day 17, so it's one of those two, okay, so don't have to be accurate. So I will go ahead and get started. I know it's late, it's about 20 after 8, and I want to get started. I just had several things that happened earlier that I couldn't get around to coming on live. And I tried to find the best lighting, so hopefully this isn't too dark for everybody. So what I want to talk about tonight is wellness. What dimension of wellness do you need help in? There's actually 8 dimensions of wellness, and before I get into that, I just want to let you know that if you're coming on live, to put in a 1, and if you're catch us on the replay, put a replay. And also let me know where you're coming from so I can track where all my viewers are. I appreciate that. So wellness. Wellness is the process of having a healthy mental state and a healthy physical state. And most of us strive to have both of those working together and being the best that they can be. But there's times where those two, the mindset, the mental attitude is off, and that throws off the physical wellness of our body. We also talk about health, and that's generally like the diseases and that kind of stuff. So when you think of a health and wellness coach, they do go together, and the health is more, like I said, the diseases and that kind of stuff. But the wellness part is the whole body. It encompasses all of that. Again, it's the mindset, it's the mental attitude that you have, and in addition to your physical state and everything around you. So there are 8 dimensions of wellness, and I'd like to talk about them now. The first one I have is emotional. That is your mental attitude, your coping skills. Are you coping effectively with your life, and are you having a healthy, satisfying relationship? You know, emotions can vary in so many different ways. If you're not in a good relationship, you can have emotional issues from that. You can have emotional issues because your body is out of whack, and your hormones, especially your hormones, can be out of whack. So that them being out of whack can affect your emotional state. So that is one of the first of the 8 dimensions. The second is environmental, and that's you want to be in a pleasant yet stimulating surroundings. So it's not just your environment at home or work, or even the outside environment. It's everything. It's are you being stimulated by your environment? Is it a good positive environment, or is it a negative environment? If it's a negative environment, that can affect you as well as your well-being, and also just affect your everyday life, right? When you're in a negative relationship, or you have negativity at the job, it can affect your mental state and also your physical well-being, okay? So the next one is financial, and that is financial. Are you in a current good financial state? Is your future heading in a good heading towards a good financial state. If you have poor finances, as some people may have, that can create issues within the relationship. If you're in a relationship, it can weigh heavy on your emotional state. It can, because you're stressed because of your finances, that can affect your overall well-being, your overall health, and stress, again, can throw your hormones off, and then everything else can be thrown off after that. So the fourth is the intellectual dimension. Are you stimulating your mind? Are you open to new ways of learning things, of doing things, of expanding your knowledge base? Do you like to read? Do you like to read books? Do you read newspapers, magazines? Do you just watch TV all the time? Some shows can help you increase your knowledge, but then there's others that are just really mind-numbing, right? We just watch them because we've had a stressful day at work and we just want to forget about our own cares and our worries. So we might watch TV too much, and then we don't get any stimulation from that. So are you feeding your mind? And I know one of the things I've been doing much more this year than I have. Of course, I was doing my college courses up until last May when I graduated, but I was always reading something for classes and stimulating and learning new things. But then after I graduated, I stopped reading, but now that I've become a health coach and I'm in the VIP program that I'm working in, we have reading books that we're reading to help stimulate our minds, to get us looking past what we currently believe we can do versus thinking about, oh yeah, reading this, I really can do that. But you really need to stimulate your mind intellectually to help your wellness stay moving forward. The next dimension is occupational. That is your work. Do you enjoy what you're doing? If you have, again, I mentioned earlier, the negative influences, the negative environment at work, and your boss is constantly on you about what you're doing or not doing, that is going to affect your mental state, and that, again, will affect your body and everything else. And I kind of hate to relate it to this, but there are times when people act out like they go and they, maybe go do something bad at the office where they used to work, and they harm people. That negativity can be traced back to them, and also their mental state and their mental health. That needs to be taken into consideration, but all of that works together. And if you're unstable mentally to begin with, then you're in a negative situation. That can make it even worse, right? So you want to make sure that you enjoy what you're doing, and if you don't, then maybe you need to look at switching up jobs, finding something else that you can do, something that you do enjoy. I basically was able to create, with my schooling, not only did I get a job as a case manager, I've also expanded my knowledge base and all of that, and now I'm into the health and wellness coaching as well. So I've actually, within 6 months of each other, I actually developed 2 new careers, and that's how I'm looking at, especially the health and wellness. That's where I'm moving towards, is having that as more of a career, not just particularly a hobby, but I am moving forward towards that. I also like what I do as a case manager, and again, it can be very trying, and there can be a lot of negativity with some of the people that I meet, but keeping positively focused can help them as well as can help me. So occupational, you really need to think about if you're not in a place where you enjoy being, that maybe it is time to switch. The next is physical. Physical includes several different things. It's your physical activity. Are you physically active? Do you walk? Do you get steps in? Do you exercise? Do you maybe do HIIT routines, the high intensity workout? Do you do that? Do you swim? Just whatever physical activity, that's included under the physical, and that's kind of an obvious physical dimension. But also under physical is your healthy foods that you take in and your sleep. Are you getting enough sleep? Do you go to sleep at night and sleep for a couple of hours and then wake up and you can't get back to sleep, right? So those are the three subtopics under the dimension of physical. The next is social, and that is having a sense of belonging. Do you belong to particular groups? Are you a loner? Some people are loner. They don't like being involved in groups. However, being a loner is not always the best, does not always bring a wellness state to you. There may be other reasons why you don't like to be around other people, but it can have a negative effect on your mindset and your physical well-being. So having a sense of belonging, connecting with friends. Do you belong to any groups? Do you go out with friends? Do you what kind of family meetings and gatherings do you go to? Are you involved with those? So social takes in all of those situations into effect, okay? And it's not, and social is also social media, right? As we're learning, and we're on social media much more, and that's one reason it's called social, right? And the 8th one is spiritual. Do you have a sense of purpose about you? Are you do you have a sense of meaning to your life? Do you do things that you really enjoy and that you know that you're here to do that? Do you have a belief in a higher power? Some people's higher power is different from other people, and not everybody has a higher power, and that's okay. But what do you believe in? What purpose are you here for? So spiritual is the number 8 of wellness. So if you have any 1, 2, 3, or 4 of these dimensions that are out of whack, how do you get back on track? And how do you try to be the healthiest version of you, right? So all of these 8 dimensions make up wellness. So if you have a couple of them out of whack, then you're not as healthy as you can be, okay? So why am I talking about all this? I have a Facebook group. It is a closed group that I would like to invite everybody to come and join. It is, again, a closed group, but it's a group where you can come in and comfortably speak to some of these issues you may have. Do you need help with your physical parts? Do you need help with your emotional parts? Again, like I said, mindset is a big part of being physically well. So that we talk about those kinds of things as well. Not only just what are you eating, how much are you eating, are you sleeping, those kinds of things, and also talking about the spiritual aspects. Do you have a purpose? Those kinds of things. So I encourage you all to come join my group. And I will post the link to that when I finish in the comment section. But I would like to say, if one of these dimensions is out of whack, one of the ways that you can also help get back on track is to do small steps every day. Do daily improvements. to get you where you want to be. But if in the meantime, you want to have the extra social, whatever, you need to talk to somebody about some of these things that you're going through, and you really don't want to do it, in right on Facebook for everybody to see, right? So I encourage you to come to my group and participate in that group, and as comfortable as you may feel, discuss some of the things that you're having issues with, and let's get a group discussion going. Let's have that social platform within this group to where you can get good benefit out of it, and that's one of the purposes of my group, is so that we can meet together and have a safe platform to discuss some of these things. Not everybody's comfortable talking about some of these things. Financial, a lot of people don't want to let the other person know that they're financially struggling, but yet at the same time your body is showing signs of that you're having some kind of issues, and just being able to talk about them is very, very helpful. So again, I encourage you to come and join my group. It's Coach Diane's Discussion. I will put the link in the comment section of the once I'm done with the live session. And I hope you all have enjoyed and gotten something out of these 8 dimensions. And if you know somebody that you think might have one of these dimensions out of whack, or just need some extra TLC, or just need somebody to talk to, please share this video and direct them to my Coach Diane's Discussion. And let's get the conversation, keep the conversation going over in that group, and let's see how we can help each other with getting you back to the healthiest version of you that you can be, okay? Thank you for joining me, and I will be back again tomorrow. I should be earlier than I have been this last couple of nights, but so I look forward to talking with you again tomorrow night. And I will definitely have down which day it is of my 30-day challenge. I think today is day 17, but don't quote me on that. So thanks for listening and watching, and please share. And I love you guys, and have a great night.